Hey guys, it's Matt here. It is Monday, June 15th. Small green day today, which is a good thing. I spent some time thinking over the weekend and talking with a friend who's also kind of a beginner trader. He's in the trading futures, but same thing, right? Because it's all about what's going on up here, mostly for trading anyway. It has little to do with the vehicle you're trading, but at least that's my experience. So what I realized, or kind of the conclusion I came to, was I need to get back to feeling like I did about trading when I had my ThinkorSwim account, which was kind of a relaxed, show up, wait for the trades to come to me. If you sit for an hour and don't take a trade, okay. It's not a rush. You don't need to go out and get trades. You need to wait for them to come to you. That's really the take home, I think, which is what I did today. And I only took one trade, and it was small. It was smaller share size, and it was a trade like I would have taken back in the ThinkorSwim account, which doesn't mean it's a perfect trade. By no means a perfect trade. We'll go over in a minute here, but it was a small winner, and I'm happy with it. My cat's eating really loudly. So I think today's a good, helpful step. I think I'm headed in the right direction here. This is a NETE, and it kept kind of jumping down, looking like it was going to get halted, like literally right at the halt band, and then it would pop up off of it. This was the nicest time it did that. It kind of jumped right here, and then it looked like it was going to do it here again. And as it popped up off the halt, I bought in, and because it was having good resistance or good support there anyway, around that 1120 area, and so that's where I got in. I got my order filled around 1130 as it popped up, but it rolled back over and it actually halted. It opened sideways and then kind of dipped down here to like the 1050 area, which this was an area I considered adding, but I just didn't pull the trigger on that, mostly because I think adding would have probably made me uncomfortable as far as share size goes. I wasn't watching my P&L, but I think that might have made me a little more nervous than anything. In hindsight, obviously, it would have been it would have made this a better trade, because it ended up popping up here, and I got out, 1165. So it was a 35-cent trade, hence a $35 winner with 100 shares. That would have been a nicer trade had I fired another bullet down here. But again, hindsight, whatever. I did try to get out here on this candle, but there were a couple times here where I just didn't get filled up here on the ask. So, but the main thing I think, again, that this shows is like I just have to decrease share size if the larger share size is messing with my head, and it had been. I didn't think it would. I thought going to 300 shares would be fine. I thought I understood, and I kind of became okay with that extra share size compared to where I was in the cash account. But it was messing with me, and part of that maybe was looking at the profit and loss and seeing the big numbers, especially when it rolls over. Some of it was, look, I took a trade that just, tanked on me, and that Wafu trade, and that was my biggest per share loss since I've started this style of trading back in March, right? So that was a bit of an anomaly, but there's nothing that says it's not going to happen again tomorrow. But it was just, I've got to keep that in mind too. So my biggest per share loss happens with my largest share size to date. That's going to look bad. But it also made me realize that, okay, if I take one of those though with this share size, it's not blowing up the account. But I started around a little shy of 3,000, and now I'm down on like 2,600. And I think the cutoff for like the 6-to-1 margin for CMEG is 2,500. So I'm kind of on the brink of that, right? So it's time to probably size down a little bit, start stacking those green days together like I was in ThinkorSwim. Oh, one thing really quick here, just a quick sidebar, then I want to show you my calendar in TraderView. I did reach out to DOS Trader because I had read in their Q&A that you could open multiple position windows in the newest update, but I didn't have the newest update. So I reached out to them and said, what's the deal with that? How do I get it? They said it's still a beta, but they gave me the link. And so just wanted to give a quick kudos to DOS Trader there. I know everybody else has said that they're really good, but they did get back to me really quickly, and it was very succinct, like, it's beta, here's the link, do what you want with it. So I put position size, position windows right here next to my montage, which kind of looks a little more like it did in ThinkorSwim. In ThinkorSwim, they were right below the order window. But I like having them here because it's just a quicker glance to see if or when you get filled, and then what your average cost is if you're firing multiple trades off. So it's nice to have it here rather than down on my other screen. I mean, if you measured it, it's probably, I don't know, another 12 inches, 10 inches, something like that. But which doesn't sound like much. But it's nice to have it right here. So, okay, so I wanted to show you this. Ignore January and February because I was trading different stuff back then. In fact, I was chasing breakouts at that point, which is one of the dumb things I've done over the past 2 weeks, where feeling like I needed to go out and make money rather than wait for the trades to come to me, and that's kind of where I'm at here. So anyway, so look at March, only 2 red days. April, 3 red days. May, 2 red days. And then June, I'm halfway through the month. Yeah, not even really. Yeah, about halfway through the month. And I've got 4 red days already. And this is what happens when you go out and you chase trades rather than just sitting back, being okay with what comes to you, and just not feeling like you got to go out and make money. Just let the money come to you, right? It's like in baseball, I think, where you got to wait for that pitch to come. You don't just swing at the first thing thinking you got to hit a home run on every pitch, right? Because the pitcher's going to throw some junk outside and try to get you to swing at it, and you got to be smarter than that. And that's what the market's doing, to some degree. It is going to throw a bunch of junk at you that looks tempting. It's like, oh, here comes a high day breakout, which is fine. There's traders that trade high day breakouts. I don't. It's just not my style. So anyway, I've got to just sit back, relax, be okay with smaller daily profits. I think probably one of the worst things that could have happened was on like my second day in this account, third day. Yeah, here we go. We'll go to on June. So this is actually the first day of the CMEG account. This was back in ThinkorSwim because it wasn't open yet. So I made $1, then I made $40. This was probably what I should have gotten used to, and then this day is what screwed everything up. My third day in the account, I make $203, and my expectations are like, holy shit, this is what this is looking like with the share size I'm trading, right? Of course, I give half of it back the next day. Then I make that half back roughly the next day. That Monday, and then I tank, and then I tank big here too. This is the Wafu day, I think, or maybe this is the Wafu day. Anyway, it doesn't matter. These days right here, this is more likely what I'm going to be expecting, right? Hopefully not 7 trades to make $40 or 29 trades to make, or 4 trades to make $29. But days like this, where net I'm going to be up $29. You string a bunch of those together and have months like you did here, where you're red to green. I don't know what the ratio is there, but it's a lot of green to a little bit of red on the daily, right? So you string a bunch of those together, and then at the end of the month, you're making some good money. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. I thought that was important, and selfishly, I feel like I'm in a good place, so that's good. And hopefully we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And if I needed to keep trading only 100 shares because that's what I'm comfortable with right now, that's what I'll do. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to show you, and that was here. I was looking back through my journal because on some days I journal my thoughts and how I'm feeling and all that stuff. And I saw this from my entry on May 29th, and I said, just looking back on the trades for the month, and I realized that at the beginning of May, and I'm writing this at the end of May, beginning of May, I was still trading 10 shares, and I hadn't taken a 40 share position size till like halfway through the month. And I was thinking about it at that time, and it seemed like so long ago that I'd been trading 10 shares. And so that's something I had to keep in mind. I was telling myself this. This is something I have to keep in mind, not to rush increasing shares if it starts affecting my trading. Because even when you do it slowly, it happens faster than you think looking back. And then once you reach that critical tipping point, it's all gravy after that. What I meant there was like, once you get to the point where, okay, you're at 100 shares, now you do 200, now you do 400, now you do 800, now you're at 1,000 shares, and you got decent size there, and you're making, if you're consistently green like you have been, you're making a pretty good amount per day. You're not crushing it. You're not like some of the guys that are making tens of thousands a day, but I don't need to be there right away. That will happen faster than I think. And it's funny. I mean, this is my note after that, is just like, that's prescient, right? I was basically predicting my near future on the 29th. Here it is the 15th, and I'm going, well, I added share size too quickly, and it fucked with my head, and then I traded like a douchebag for 2 weeks, and now here I am, right? So I'm reducing share size. I'm not going to worry about, this month, at the end of the month, they're going to take fees out of my account, and I'm not going to make that a big deal, like it's going to be the end of the world if I don't cover that with my profits. I'm not going to worry about what the commissions are doing to me right now, because that's stupid to worry about. I need to just keep building my consistency and slowly build share size and make sure I'm comfortable with it. So anyway, that's where I'm at, guys. Hopefully some of that helps somebody out there someday, and good luck to all of you. See you tomorrow.